Don't be fooled by this card's rarity. What you're looking at is one of the most powerful monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially in the Ritual archetype. Welcome to Megaliths. Hello folks, I'm the Ghost with Knife and welcome back to more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And as you saw in the intro, today we're going to be taking a look at Megaliths. Some of you may know that very recently I did the Gate campaign for Megaliths, and I really enjoyed the archetype in that very closed environment. And I was looking at my collection, and I realized I have most of the core components for a Megalith deck because I was trying to build a different deck. And I was sitting there looking at the collection, and I was like, man, a lot of these cards are pretty easy to get to. They're normals and rares. And as some of you know, in the past, I've been doing structure decks that are just basically 3 structure decks with a few upgrades from super rares and ultra rares that I thought were quote-unquote core cards of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I had an idea. I was looking at the rarity of these cards, and I realized they're really not rare, and I asked myself an important question. Can you make a strong deck with no super rares and no ultra rares with Megaliths? And after a little bit of research and looking at a YouTube video from Hardleg Gaming, I found this deck, which is an all normal and rare deck featuring Megaliths. Now, why in the world are we doing this? It's pretty simple. Most players have really easy access to a bunch of normal and rare tokens, as you can see with my normal and rare token count. And even though I've made other structure decks, I've been like, yo, this is good if you want to have a place to start, they're not really budget friendly because a lot of the really powerful upgrades are ultra rares and super rares. And honestly, Megaliths are powerful enough that I think they can stand alone on their own without these big powerful upgrades. So I went looking and I found this deck, and as it turns out, you can make a really strong Megalith deck with no super rares and ultra rares. And again, that's just what this is. It's a budget deck meant to showcase the power of this archetype and just what they can do. So what exactly is the core strategy of this deck? It's simple. We're going to get a bunch of our ritual monsters in the graveyard, and then on our opponent's turn in the middle of their combo, we're going to use Megalith Fool to summon Megalith Bethor. And Bethor is going to go ahead and destroy a bunch of opponents' cards in the middle of their combo with quick effect speed, and it's just going to ruin their plans to do anything. And afterwards, we're just going to get in there with Megalith Phalig and just beat our opponent down. And that's the entire core strategy of this deck, is to use the very powerful Megalith engine with stuff like Megalith Ophiel, Megalith Hagith, and the incredibly powerful Megalith Unformed to give us the access to our big Bethor card on our opponent's turn to just stop what our opponent's doing before they can do anything else. In order to support this, we have a little bit of an incantation engine. We have 3 Pensaplumes, we have 1 Candle, and we have 1 Talismandra. In my opinion, you could very easily use more Talismandras, but with the Megalith engine, you only need 1. Because what you're going to be grabbing with Talismandra is almost always Ophiel, and Ophiel starts your entire combo line, which is a complex combo line, but it's still a really good combo line. On top of that, we're also using 3 Senju and 3 Manju, just really good cards for digging out our Megalith cards to start our combo. 3 Megalith Fool, which is the core card of this deck, and honestly the most powerful Megalith in the game. We have 3 Ophiels, which is just a combo piece to go into 2 Hagith, which is another combo piece to grab Unformed, 3 Phalig, because it's a finisher card, and just having more of these is never a bad thing. 3 Bethor, which is our most powerful control card in our way of stopping what our opponent's doing in the middle of their turn. We have 1 of the Portal, because it's a decent enough card and we can fetch it with Hagith if we need. 1 Inception, because we literally only need 1 to use our incantation cards to start our entire Megalith engine. 3 MSTs, because it's just really good spell trap removal, and it's rare. 3 Megalith Unformed, which is the other core card of the deck. I do have some shiny ones, so we're going to get to showcase those, but this with Hagith just gets the entire Megalith line to ridiculous places. 3 Compulsory Evacuation Devices, just they're a good trap. They're good at stopping your opponent's nonsense without destroying stuff. 3 Lost Wind, which is good for stopping our opponent's special summons by negating their effects and having their attack. and 1 Megalith Emergence, which is just a way to give us a little bit of recursion if we need it. But our engine with Megalith is so powerful, as you're going to see in these games, that we don't really care about this. And the extra deck is just a bunch of nonsense. You don't even need an extra deck. I just filled this with a bunch of normal and rare cards that I thought, maybe I can get a little bit of use out of these. Like Draglubion goes into the Heart Earth Dragons, which are just really powerful control cards. And we just have a few link cards that are very okay at best. But yeah, the core of this deck is around the Megalith cards and just how nonsensical they can be. So without further ado, let's get into those games. This is a deceptively hard deck to pilot. We're going first. Darn right we're doing that nonsense. As we continue to see Blue Eyes players with that Slifer feel, bro. Yo, who really likes dragons? This guy. Cool. How many ritual monsters in the graveyard we want to use, though? Let's go ahead and use the Manju to grab Phalig, basically. Get our Bethor set up. I have an Ophiel in hand? I do. Yeah, that's why. Let's just double check on my own logic. I was like, wait, why did I do that again? We use Phalig. We're going to summon Ophiel, basically. And we're going to use Manju, just because I have to get the line going, because I need Bethor in hand, kind of, to keep plays going for the future. It's me, Ophiel. Excuse me. Activate Ophiel's effect. Grabbing Hagith. Use Ophiel to summon Hagith. See ya. Get Megalith unformed. With Hagith, use unformed for Hagith. Ritual summon fool. Use Hagith. See ya. Ta-da! This is the card we were building for. And we put back in Phalig in hand, which makes Fool an 8. Not gonna use its effect yet. Use it on their turn as a surprise. And then we end my turn. And they're like, yo, dude, what is that nonsense? I just realized what I could have done with Pensive Plume and how freaking stupid I am. You can get the Talismandra. Well, Talismandra was the thing to grab. I just had a brain fart, don't mind me. Blue Eyes White Dragon in your hand, special summon it. That's fine, dude. Go for it. What you got? That's not a Blue Eyes. Hold up. Wait, what? Okay. That's not a Blue Eyes. Oh, one monster from your hand. Got it. Now they're gonna do the next nonsense we're gonna go ahead and, if they just end their turn like that, I'm literally just gonna go ahead and activate. Yeah, we're gonna do that now. Yeah, you don't need a board, dude. You're fine. From the deck, we grab Bethor. Putting away Phalig. Okay. Yo, dude, watch this nonsense. Yo, dude, it's Bethor. Activate Bethor's effect. I have more than 3 cards in my graveyard. 1. Yep. 2. There goes your entire board, bro. Quick summon that nonsense real quick. It'll be funny. Not a target, right? Yeah, it's a target effect, so it does get to do that. Go ahead, summon your blue eyes. It's fine. We're about to have a crazy turn anyways, because I'm just going to destroy it with the other Bethor in my hand. But they're looking at this, they're like, dude, what is this card? I've never even seen this. Why is it going to destroy all of my cards? Yeah, dude, who needs super rares and ultra rares when you got Bethor? This card's incredible. Yeah, I figured that was happening. We're fine with that. Because then we can just destroy it with the other Bethor and win the game anyways. Yo, dude, it's Blue Eyes. Oh god, no, it's some ultimate dragon in terms of attack and defense. Wait, no, it's a legendary dragon that's a powerful engine of destruction. Dude, how am I gonna beat this? This is crazy. We're going into combat to get rid of Fool. That's cool. Ah, gee willikers, you got me, bro. Oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna win now. You beat my Fool, dude. You got my effect. MST? Well, gee willikers, Santa Claus. Okay. Use Pensaplume. Yo, you see this Bethor in my hand? Watch this real quick. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this in Defense mode. Summon Talismandra in Defense mode. Which, guess what? It's gonna start the entire line, dude. Watch this. Remember that line of cards that I had last time with Ophiel? Or do it again. Because now we use Bethor's effect. Ritual summon this. And we'll get rid of the Pensaplume on the field. Hold up. Not that. Yeah, I want that. We'll do Talismandra then, that's fine. We're fine, we're fine, we're fine. Going to Ophiel. Dude, do you remember that entire combo line we did last turn? We're gonna do it again. I know, it's incredible, right? Gonna go ahead and use Pensaplume's effect. My bad, I gotta use this, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go into Haggith in attack mode. Grabs unformed. Activate Haggith's effect. Yo, watch this, dude. It's gonna be crazy. Remember that unformed card we got last time? It's back in my hand. And I'm gonna use it. Use this. Not gonna MST my own card. That's stupid. It's time for the Fool, baby. Get rid of Haggith. Use Fool's effect to put Phalanx back in my hand. Use this thing's effect. And I'll just get the big bad Phalanx. And we'll get rid of Bethor. I don't know where I grabbed this Phalanx button, but it's fine. Oh, we could just summon... just regular summon the other pencil. Yeah, dude, it's a 2100 Pensaplume. Who cares? Yo, Blue Eyes, get out of here with that nonsense. And on their turn, if they want to do some more nonsense, we can just use Fool to play Bethor. And just interrupt all their stuff again. Oh, this engine is insane, dude. Just use Bethor again on their turn. So it's 300 for each, so we're getting 600. No, it's 300 times 6, so it's 21. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why this is a 200 and 2100 attack monster, even though it's a 0 attack normally. Hold up, what's that do? Chronicle Sorceress? You know what, man? I just don't feel like you should have that card. From the deck, we get rid of the Failing in hand. I just don't want you to do anything, man. It's fine. This guy's probably done. Get out of here. You don't need that Dark Magician, Blue Eyes White Dragon nonsense, dude. That's how we wrote it. That's about how we drew it up. Okay, so our opponent's gonna get to Silver 1 if they beat this. They beat us this game. So we have to make their trip as hard as possible. Very standard looking deck. I can see the number of cards in their extra deck. I'm curious. Ooh, we got. Ooh, that's the wrong one. 5. That sucks. I mean, getting the ritual out is just good right now. For the Hagoth, I'm literally about to play. Okay. Sadly, this is going to mildly ruin what we're doing. Yeah, they're reading. They really want to know what's going on with my Incantation and Hagoth card. They're like, dude, what are these cards? I've never seen. Ash! You son of a bitch! Twice its level, so that's 6. Yeah, no, we're fine. Okay. Okay. This is fine. This is absolutely fine. Ash does not affect my plan of play here because I have Fate Leg. And they can't Ash me again. I'll use Fate Leg's effect. Maxi? Dude! You're in silver! Ash Blossom Maxi, man. Oh my god, dude. That's cringe. We don't get to start with Ophiel, but it's fine. We'll go into Fool still. We can go into Fool on their turn. Here's what I'm gonna do. Use Hagoth. We're not gonna use this Unformed. We get another Unformed, just so they don't know about it. If I somehow make it to the next turn, I'll still have one in hand that they don't know about. And I can still use Lost Wind to negate their effects as well. Ash Blossom Maxi. At silver. Yeah, no wonder you're climbing through silver so fast. Do you think they put actual money into this game to get those? Maxi Ash Blossom in silver. Like, I get... Cash Tira Fenrir. Hold up. We're gonna Lost Wind that right now. I do not want you getting that effect. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use Megalith Unformed. Got anything for that? Go ahead, Ash Blossom me again, it's cool. Book of Moon? Okay, so they're gonna Book of Moon Fenrir. We don't care about that. Okay, that's fine. I don't think you realize I got exactly what I wanted. Activate Fool's Effect. Put Phaleg back in my hand. I'm not gonna use this effect yet. I can use Phaleg from my hand. And I have a way to get back into Phaleg again, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, we're drawing a bunch of cards. I'm banishing 10 of your own cards because you're a psychopath like that. Not gonna do that just yet. So we'll have 2 Engrave to get rid of their nonsense. You special summon this card if you banish 1. We're fine with that. Go ahead, use all your resources, it's fine. I'm not using that yet, I don't need to. Yeah, I'll activate this now, cool. You want to end your turn? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Deathor. And we'll get rid of Phaleg. Activate Bethor's effect. Get rid of both your Cashier monsters. How do you feel about that? You better get out of here, Kashtira. Get out. Get out with your nonsense deck. All of your resources are gone, all of your plays are gone, and I'm going in for Gabe next. GG, son. Our prize for beating Kashtiras is apparently the Freddy Krueger of bunnies. I see. For this game, we're going to be going into the replay and trying to do a little bit of a play-by-play and my thoughts into it, because this game was actually 30 minutes long with the amount of thinking that I was doing, especially towards the end of the game. But in the beginning here, it's a pretty simple line of play. You get to see the incantation engine doing its thing, which is going to grab Pentaplume, revealing Hagith, which is going to put Talismandra in our hand, which allows us to put Ophiel in our hand. And then, normally what I do in this situation is I could use Megalith Unformed to summon a different monster, like I could summon the other Ophiel and start the entire Hagith line. But here, because I have 2 incantation monsters, I'm going to use Manju's ability, and I'm going to actually grab the Inception. Now what this allows me to do here is there's actually a few different lines of thought here. I could use Talismandra to summon Ophiel, and then if I keep Pentaplume on the board until the next turn, I can bounce it back to my hand, and if I have another ritual monster, I can use its effect again and get more ritual material later on down the line. So this is a very layered thought process here. So we use the Inception, put the Talismandra away, going to ritual summon our Ophiel, which begins our absolutely bonkers line of play. Ophiel activates, going to put in the other Hagith into our deck. Now you're going to see here, I'm going to use Ophiel to summon one of my Hagiths. And I could grab the field spell now, but in my mind, I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to grab the other Unformed just in case we need it, because Unformed is just a better card than the field spell. We're going to go ahead and use our other Unformed to get rid of Hagith, to summon our Fool, which gives us a lot of control potential. Now, I do kind of misread my graveyard. I think I have a bigger card in the graveyard, but I don't. I have Ophiel and Hagith, so I'm like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab Ophiel, because grabbing Ophiel lets me start the entire combo line again, and in order to have a big, powerful Bethor destruction play, we need a lot of different ritual monsters in our graveyard. So I'm going to grab Ophiel, which is going to let me grab Hagith, which lets me get other cards to keep the line going. And then we're going to go ahead and set 2 and pass. Now, we played Megalith Emergence and Megalith Unformed, and I know I just said that this is one of the best cards in the deck, but Megalith Emergence in this game is going to actually play a key role in me winning this game, as you're going to tell in just a few moments. Now, my opponent is going to be using this Gateway to Chaos to grab this Gaia card, because they're playing the Gaia the Fierce Knight deck, which I have never seen before. Now, this card is actually going to be the source of a few headaches. I misread it originally, otherwise I probably would have just gone into Bethor and got rid of it. What this allows them to do is it allows them to grab a Gaia from their deck to their hand, and or allows them to grab a dragon by revealing a Gaia from... They can either grab either Gaia or a dragon from their deck to their hand with this card, and I can't activate effects or cards during the battle phase, meaning I can't actually use this to defend myself if they get a really big board in the battle phase, and I can't use this to try to use Bethor to out their board. So they're going to go ahead and reveal that Gaia card they just got to grab the Curse of Dragon. And then they're going to summon a big Gaia monster. Now in response to this, basically how this card works is if your opponent doesn't have anything with 2300 or more in attack, and you have no monsters, you can just normal summon it without tributing, and when you do, you can special summon a level 5 dragon from your hand or graveyard in defense position like that one they just grabbed. And in response to this, I'm like, okay, we gotta make a play here, because they're gonna start establishing a really big board. I need to have something prepared just in case, so I'm gonna use the Unformed. Now, normally I could just go into Bethor and clear their board, but I have a different line of reasoning. I'm like, what if I use Ophiel and Manju to grab another Ophiel in case I need to start the combo again later? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to ritual summon the other Ophiel from my deck. So now I have another ritual monster in case I really need it. My opponent's going to be using their Curse of Dragon to grab a spell or trap from their deck, and I'm going to be using Ophiel's effect, and I'm going to be grabbing Phalig. Now the main reason I grab Phalig here is because in my mind's eye, I'm like, okay, here's what I need to do. I can use Fool to get rid of Phalig to grab Bethor and just wipe their board out before anything nonsensical happens. This play is actually, again, going to save me in the future, because I was, instead of thinking about, oh, I need to destroy their stuff now, I thought, what can I do in the future? Now, my opponent plays Raigeki, and I make a misplay here because I misunderstand how the Yu-Gi-Oh chain works. I'm used to Magic where like something happens, an effect goes off, and you can add another to the top of it. Once the chain is in motion, it doesn't stop. So you're going to see me go for Bethor here, using the cards from the field. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to play Bethor, it's going to destroy all their effects. But that's not actually how it works, as you're going to see, because the chain is going to have Raigeki go off before Bethor's ability can go off. And I don't get to destroy my opponent's board, and it actually almost costs me the game here. So Fool's going to activate, and I'm like, okay, this will be fine. I'll use my cards, I'll get Bethor. I have a bunch of different names in the graveyard, like get rid of their entire board. Who cares, right? Wrong. Raigeki just gets rid of Bethor, like I've already said. And now I'm open to lose the game because I can't activate this emergence during their battle phase. And now they get to fuse into their big Gaia, the Magical Knight of Dragons, which because of the fusion spell gets an additional 2600 attack. Now, before we read the quick effect, I want to go ahead and reread this card one more time for you guys. I thought this was game, because I read that as when this card, hang on a second. Oh wait, no, I'm not thinking of this. The fusion spell, my mistake. I was having a moment, I was rereading the card, I was like, wait, where's the thing? The fusion spell says, when you special summon Gaia the Dragon Knight against 2600 attack, and also, it can make 2 attacks on monsters. I thought that meant this thing could attack 3 times, and I was like, oh, I just lose here, cool. So I was just kind of done. And then my opponent attacks, and then I realized they can't attack 3 times. They can only attack once, and I have 500 life points, and this is when I'm like, dude, end phase. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to use Megalith Emergence, and I'm going to grab Ophiel. Now, the entire reason I do this, what I could have done here to make my life simpler is to just grab Fool, and then use Fool's effect, getting rid of Phalig to play Bethor. But I have a different line of thought. I'm like, okay, if I grab Ophiel, I can use its effect from the board to instantly grab Hagith and start my entire line of play. Anyways, so we're going to go right back into the main combo line. Ophiel into Hagith, which is going to grab us the Megalith Unformed. We're going to use Megalith Unformed, getting rid of Hagith. Grabbing Fool here. Now with Fool, I have a few different options, but what I'm going to be doing in particular for this is I'm going to be going ahead and bouncing Hagith back to my hand, and then I'm going to use the Megalith Emergence to bring back Bethor. Now the entire reason behind this is that if I grab Hagith back to my hand, I can use... I don't really... Wait, why did I put Hagith back in my hand? Why did I put Hagith back in my hand? Oh, right, because I was just like, yo, dude, I'll put Hagith back in my hand, so if I need to ritual summon it again, I can. I'm going to use Megalith Emergence, though, to grab Bethor, and I'm going to use Fool's Effect targeting Bethor to get my other Bethor to blow up their entire board. And I go to do that, and then the unthinkable happens. Gaia the Dragon Knight has multiple effects. Who knew reading the cards was actually kind of important? Thanks to the fusion, they have a bunch of additional attack that they can afford to get rid of, and at quick effect speed, they can destroy any card on my board. So they're doing this in response to Fool's Effect to get rid of Bethor, because they think it's the only way I can get Bethor off is using Fool right now, getting rid of that Bethor. But remember, earlier we used Ophiel to grab Phalanx. We did that so that we could make a Bethor play. So my opponent is going to be trying to stop our Bethor play with a Dragon Knight and almost succeed. But because of the Ophiel play I made earlier, I can use Phalanx to go back into Bethor. And with that, you don't have a board anymore. So our big control play manages to pay off, and then we're going to play a compulsory evacuation device because I really cannot afford to go into attack position. If I do, my opponents could attack me and get rid of the rest of my life points. This is a very defensive play, and I'm just kind of hoping they brick on their draw. And if they don't, I just compulse back whatever they play that's a monster back to their hand, and then try to go for game. Now my opponent does something sneaky. They play one face down card, and I'm like, shoot. I don't know if I can trust this. So at the last second, as I'm sitting here, going to the end of their turn, looking at their face down card, I look at my emergence and I go, what do I need to grab here that wins me the game? And I do the unthinkable, and I re-grab Hagith. And then I use Fool's ability, using both of my Hagiths to re-summon Bethor! And Bethor's gonna come and attack, get rid of their face down, which wasn't anything anyways, but on my turn, we're gonna draw a card. It's another compulse. We're gonna activate Fool's Effect. We're gonna use Fool to summon Phalanx by getting rid of our defensive Bethor. Put all of our monsters in attack mode, and attack for game, but our opponent sees a line and resigns. And that is the power of the Megalith engine. Our opponent had an out, but we just had more outs, thanks to the absolutely massive value you get from Emergence and Fool. Now, let's go talk about this deck. So what did we learn about Megaliths? Today from our games, we learned that even at normal rare, this deck is absolutely insane. There is so much power to this deck. Megalith Fool is an all-star card. Its ability to give itself level 8 and also to just ritual summon a Bethor on our opponent's turn is sometimes just enough to win games. There's quite a few games that we didn't record because Megalith games take some time, where we literally just went full into Bethor, we blow up your board, and our opponent went, yeah, I don't got any cards in hand, I don't got a board, GG. I'm gonna leave, and they just surrendered. And that's just the power of our main combo line. It is absolutely devastating, and the ability to finish off with Phalanx definitely gives this deck some real teeth. Is this the best deck for climbing though? This version of the deck? No. You are missing really core cards that help stop your opponent from their nonsense, which is what a control deck really wants to do. Core cards that actually completely ruin our game plan, that are just meta staples. Two I can think of off the top of my head: Ash Blossom, which stops our searches, which stops our engine, and Infinite Impermanence, which can stop us from controlling what our opponent's doing with Bethor. And yeah, not only are they really good cards in our deck, they're really good cards against us, and they're very meta. So be careful when you're thinking of these things. Does that mean this deck is bad? No. I think if you're looking to just get into Master Duel and get a bunch of normal and rare cards for a strong deck when you start your Master Duel account, this is phenomenal. You don't need an extra deck. You can literally just go these 40 cards, just use all of your normal and rare tokens, make this, and you will have a deck that can get you to, at the very bare minimum, gold. And I stand by those words. This engine is incredibly powerful, and another big reason I like this engine is because it helps you learn when to interrupt your opponent with something like Bethor. Because if you know when to interrupt your opponent, the more powerful cards like Ash Blossom and Infinite Impermanence get even better once you actually have your hands on those. And the best part about this deck is if you're looking for something that's strong, that only gets better with upgrades, this normal and rare deck, just these 40 cards, is a great starting place. Like I said earlier, with Fool we can go into level 8 with this, and there's actually something you can do with one normal rare in your deck, or your extra deck, I should say, this, Bethor, and one ultra rare. Actually, you need 2 normals, but we'll get into that in a second. What you do is you go into Fool. You use Fool, get it to level 8, and then you play Bethor. You wipe out your opponent's entire board. You use both of your level 8 monsters, the level 8 Fool and the level 8 Bethor, to go into Draglubion. And when you go into Draglubion, you can use its effect to get one ultra rare monster, and you only need one copy of it, and that is Numeron Dragon, which gets bigger with the combined ranks of all of your XYZ monsters. And since we just wiped out our opponent's board with Bethor, we have 2 level 8 monsters. This is a 16,000 attack monster. With no board, there's nothing to stop you from just playing this and winning the game. My bad, it's 9,000. I thought it had more ranks. It doesn't. It has a rank 1. And with the 8 ranks here and the 1 rank here, that's 9,000. We could still do 9,000 and 3,000, which is 12,000, which is most of the time enough to win games. But yeah, just little upgrades like that. Just one ultra rare. All you need is one ultra rare. You need this, all of your normal cards, Draglubion, and like put in Heartland Draco. Or these 2 cards, which you can use as material for Numeron Dragon. So that way you can just do nonsense. Just little changes like that can make this deck go from like a pretty strong budget deck to an actual meta threat, in my opinion. So thank you for tuning in. I hope I inspired you to try out Megaliths. Hope I gave you something fun and unique to watch, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ta-ta, folks.